Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a JESKAI CODIE control deck for standard best of one. Now honestly, this is the most fun I've had playing standard in so long. For those of you that don't know, CODIE the Voracious Codex is a 3-mana 1/4 legendary artifact creature construct. It reads, you can't cast permanent spells, but for 4 and a tap, you add a Wooburg, and whenever you cast your next spell this turn, exile all cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery card with lesser mana value. Until your next turn, you can cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then you put each other exiled card this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. So essentially, CODIE lets you ramp a mana. It costs 4 mana to tap it, and you get 5. So it lets you ramp, and then it lets you cascade whatever spell you just casted. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to stay alive, hit your lands, interact with your opponent, get some card advantage off iteration, and then on turn 3, play CODIE, or as early as turn 3. It can be later on in the game, and you'll see I have a lot of games where I don't actually get CODIE down on 3 because we don't have him in our hand, and that's okay. We don't need CODIE for the deck to function. We can function as a perfectly viable Jeskai control deck. But once you get CODIE down, the turn afterwards, you can tap it, with hitting your 4th land, that is, and you can cast a Lorehold command. Now this will let you make a 3/2 and lightning helix something, and you have the option to use the other 2 modes, but those are the 2 most commonly used modes, and that Lorehold command will then scale downwards, and you'll either get access to a board wipe, which sometimes can come in handy, a draw spell, a 4/4 token, a Prismari command, removal, or card draw. And that's really good on turn 4. You get a free spell after getting all these effects, and you still have your CODIE in play. But it scales even upwards from that. Basically, on turns 6, right? So you pay 4, or actually on turn 5 if you foretold, and on turn 6 if you haven't, you can essentially cast Alrund's Epiphany and cascade it downwards, get so much more CODIE value, ramp, and then afterwards, on turn 7, if I'm getting this correct, you can cast your Opus. And then that will cascade you downward again, and it will hopefully let you cast your Alrund's Epiphany off the Opus. Basically, CODIE is just this giant cascade machine that after you cast spells off of it, gets you just so much value over the course of a game. It's very, very difficult for your opponent to come back from. Even if you're just hitting something like a Scorching Dragonfire or a Shock off your Behold the Multiverse, that's such a tempo swing. It's just a free card out of your deck. It doesn't cost you any mana, and it doesn't cost you a card, right? So it's just a ton of value and pressure, and that also has to do with why we run the 1 mana cards, because sometimes you won't have some of these big hitters off your CODIE, so you'll just activate CODIE with not much else to do with your mana, cast a Fire Prophecy, remove a thing, and you know that you have hits in Shock and Opt, which are both really good spells in the early game to help you find your CODIE, smooth out your mana, or just stay alive against something aggressive. We also have Zirda as a free companion. You'll see I'm recording the intro after. You have to keep in mind that even though the deck doesn't run any permanents, Zirda is a permanent, and I kind of just blanked at one point and I cast CODIE before Zirda, and I felt like a bit of an idiot, but you'll see you have to be careful for that. If ever you want to sequence these, always play the Zirda first. But I'm just getting on a little bit of a tangent. All the cards here are made to keep you alive long enough for you to actually cast CODIE, and hopefully you CODIE sticks, and then you just pop off from there. We also have these spell lands, if I could just, Seagate Restoration and Amiria's Call, because CODIE helps pay for their activation, and then you can cascade them as well. The mana base aside from that is pretty standard Jeskai. We lean pretty heavily on red because we rely on early game removal, and our board wipe is a Draconic Intervention, which normally is fine because we have Prismari command to put cards in the yard to help us enable our intervention, or you just have Magma Opus as a card to discard to enable your intervention as well. It honestly works out pretty good. The only issue is that sometimes you will exile your Draconic Intervention off your CODIE and you don't want to sweep your board, because we actually do make a ton of dorks with CODIE, the Starnheim Unleashed, the Magma Opus 4/4, a bunch of 3/2s, and a bunch of 1/1s. So this is here more to stay alive, and you can also use a cheaper spell to enable this board wipe and keep CODIE alive. There's a lot that goes into the deck, and there's a lot of decisions and a lot of thought, and it is a lot of fun. Sorry, I'm just off on a little tangent. So If you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video. It will be in the description down below as always, and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, hand is good. We have all our colors. We have Opus and Intervention, so we can board wipe on 4. We have a Epiphany on 2. Okay, great. We even hit a Triome. So no Codie, but we have stuff to do in the meantime. We actually have a turn 3 board wipe if we want it. Okay. So, do I cycle one of these Magma Opuses for a treasure and then turn 3 Draconic Intervention this board? Or do I just foretell Alrund's Epiphany? I think we want to cycle Opus for a treasure. Hall Monitor, okay. We have plenty of 2-mana removal spells and we just haven't found any of them, which is interesting. Okay. I think we still cycle the Opus here. Opponent probably holding open a Bone Crusher Giant. They can stomp my face right now, and they do, trying to play around board wipe, I guess. Sorry, not a board wipe, counter magic. What am I saying? I'm thinking of board wipe as in my Draconic Intervention of whether or not I should cast it. Jesus Christ, what am I saying? Okay, Lorehold Command is a good draw. It means we can Lightning Helix something and make a token. I'm wondering whether or not I should Intervention right now. I have 4 mana, and then I will go to 4 mana. If that makes sense. I think I Iteration. And just keep trying to get through my deck. I know it's greedy. I'm going to take another 4. We find a Codie, which is cool. Library Exile. We have a bit more white now, which is nice. Or do I just put this on more blue? I need double red. I guess I can put this on white. We'll put this on blue. And I can foretell the Epiphany. Is that worth using my treasure? I'm not sure. Next turn I'll be able to Draconic Intervention and save the treasure. Or I might be able to just Lorehold Command something. Tough call. I think we foretell the Epiphany and just be mana efficient. As long as I hit my lands, I should be okay. And there's an Annex. Okay, so turn 4 is definitely Draconic Intervention. Alright, and we can go Mountain into Intervention. I will exile the Magma Opus. Wrath this board. Nice. And now the opponent can play out the Bone Crusher Giant, and we have Pseudo Lightning Helix. No Codie down. I can be super greedy and play the Codie. I think we just want to play the Lorehold Command and then play the Codie, maybe draw a removal spell and back it up. I know it's not ideal, but I don't feel like we can just take a turn off to slam the book. Okay, there's 4 mana. I can let my opponent attack. Maybe they have a Rimrock Knight. They might have something. Opponent's not just going directly to attackers, or to damage, sorry. And they do have the Rimrock Knight. Okay, sweet. So we can go make a 3/2 and Lightning Helix as well. Cool. We gain 3, take 2, and we make a body. While also taking out the Rimrock Knight. And the opponent will play Annex. Alright, so what's the plan? I can Alrund's Epiphany and play Tapland. Then we can play Codie and pass. Or we can actually just go for an Amiria's Call, which is really solid. I think we want to attack first, see what the opponent does. If they just take it, we Alrund's Epiphany. So this has been a weird game. If I had Codie on the board, we'd definitely be winning for sure. But right now, I think we just... Oh, I did not play my land. That's my mistake. We're going to go for double white as well. And play the Alrund's Epiphany. Take the extra turn. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is if we had Codie on this board and we're activating it before casting all these spells, we definitely win this game. But the fact that we didn't have Codie for a while means that we're just playing a weird kind of Jeskai control game. So we have 7 mana if we play a land. That means we can't actually cast a Miria's Call right now. Or Magma Opus, to be fair. Does that mean I just play Codie? I think we go Expressive Iteration into Codie. Intervention. I don't really want to sweep this board. I'll put it in my hand anyways. Unless we really want untap land. I think I actually just take double land here to make sure I hit land 8. Actually, I think I take backup sweeper. Because Codie makes fake mana. Or makes more mana and I'm going to cast it anyways. So we go hand. Library. Exile. I could have taken the untapped land, but I kind of prefer the fixing. And we're going to cast the book. And no attacks. Alright. Do you have double frostbite for my Codie? Double stomp? Any of these things? Because if you don't, then I just Magma Opus with a Codie activation, and we pop off from there. I'm not blocking with Codie, I'll block with pretty much anything else. Oh, here we go. Alright, we make Codie mana, and then we Magma Opus, or do we Alrund's Epiphany? I think we Alrund's Epiphany first, just guarantee the extra turn, then we could just Magma Opus afterwards. And get a free Cascade. Oh, the opponent's not even gonna let me play it out? That would have been so sweet. But yeah, so from here, we cast a free Lorehold command, take this thing out, or take out the Annex, attack with everything, get an extra turn, activate Codie again, and then get a free spell off the Magma Opus, and we just absolutely pop off from there. Okay, hand is good. We have a nice 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a tap land, which is not ideal, but it should be fine. So we can go, I mean, we can save the opt, go turn 2 Prophecy, turn 3 Codie, turn 4 Lorehold command. Or we can play this on blue and opt on turn 1. I think we just get the Triome down and then use the Fire Prophecy on this Goose. We might cycle away the Behold or the opt, depending on how we draw. We definitely want to hit land 4 to activate Codie. And then land 5 to be able to actually play the Lorehold command. Okay, Simic something. Okay, well here we just can cycle away the other Codie. And I'm going to main phase this so they can't make the mana, or I can upkeep this. I don't hate the upkeep. But they can make the mana in their upkeep. I think I just shoot the Goose. They can make the mana now and counter it, but I think that's okay. Into the Royal, bounce your own Goose. Okay, that's fine. It means the Into the Royal doesn't reset my Codie. So this is definitely Simic something. Not sure what. Okay, there's some more land. Very, very good. Kind of need more red, I guess, but I also kind of need more white. I mean blue. So we're going to put this on blue. We're going to play Codie. Oh, does Codie even resolve here? It hits the board. We know they're playing bounce spells. So Codie versus bounce spells is not great. But the alternative is what? Opt and foretell behold the multiverse? Okay. Opponent's on that ramp plan for sure. And they have 2 mana. Maybe they bounce here. But if they bounce here, then I don't know why they wouldn't have done it on the other turn. Maybe they're just reading Codie. Okay, so we can go land, play Codie, and then cast Lorehold command. Or, yeah. Alright, so we want to make a 3-2 and shoot the bird. So I will Make a 3. Ooh, no, I want to target the goose and then target me with the 3/2. And then we get Cascade. Into a Starnheim Unleashed. Sweet. Bolt your goose. Make a 3/2. Cast a Starnheim Unleashed. Free 4/4. Decent turn. No complaints. Elder Gargaroth, eh? Alright, at least we can block that. So, activate Codie. You know what? I'm going to hit Z and I'm going to play this land out. And then we're going to activate Codie and hold open Opt. Oh, we're hitting that Cascade. We hit a Fire Prophecy. I will take an Iteration, but I'm not going to take that land. Okay, so what's the play? I can Fire Prophecy something here. I can attack with this, and if they block, I can Fire Prophecy. I could actually attack with both, but I think I just use the Vigilant Creature. We burn 1 mana, so I might not be able to foretell here. I think I actually just foretell this card. But I'm paying for it with Codie mana anyways. So is that even good? I don't think so. Alright. I think it's better to just use the Opt. I attack with my 4/4. Any blocks? I know, not ideal. Okay, opponent draws. Before they draw, I'm just going to... Well, they can still have unsummon, so I'm going to let damage happen. Go to damage. Okay, and we Fire Prophecy. Okay, put away a Codie. Hit a Lord Hold Command. Nice. And we can still opt on the opponent's turn. Probably looking for more land right about now. So Simic mid-range, or like Quandrix mid-range, I guess. Sure, take 3. I think I saw a HGG deck that looked pretty similar to this. Another Gargaroth. Okay, I mean, not ideal, but it's fine. Opt. Dragon Fire, eh? So I activate and I'll have an extra mana? No. Do I take this? I don't think so. I can do better. Intervention, okay. And there's a Magma Opus, so I mean, that's really gonna help us get there. So I can cast Iteration, try to hit land and help me keep digging. Is this only as a sorcery? I think it is. Tap, add 5. When you cast your next spell this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery with lesser mana value. Until the end of the turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. Okay. So, not an instant or sorcery. I think we be a bit greedy and try to hit land. We have 3 looks at it after scrying something to the bottom. Alright, that's really good. So we go hand, library, exile. And now I can pass the turn and then instant speed use the command, which is pretty solid after paying for Codie. I can attack, that means, right? Because then I'd be able to use this afterwards and still cast the command. And if they block, I just get to Lightning Helix the Gargaroth. And if not, I can still Helix plus block the Gargaroth with the other 3/2. Alright, if I understand how this works, I will still be able to cast the Lore Hold command on the opponent's turn. Yeah. Okay. So the opponent goes to attacks. They select draw a card. I will activate my Codie, play my Lore Hold command, make a 3/2, and Lightning Helix. So we Lightning Helix the Gargaroth, and I make a 3/2. And we get to Cascade into what is probably going to be an instant or sorcery, because a lot of my deck is instant or sorcery below 5 mana. Sorry, instant below 5 mana, meaning I'd probably be able to cast one of these things. So Dragonfire on the Gargaroth, I think so, instead of just blocking with the 3/2, because it's free, and if they counter it, I block with the 3/2. Okay. That happens, and I can take 3 off this, no problem. We're gaining a ton of life. We're on 6 mana, so we can activate Codie for 4 and still have 2 left over. Opponent goes for an all-runs Epiphany. Alright, interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we gain 4. Yeah. So once we get to untap, we'll be able to all-runs Epiphany into a Cascade, which is really nice. And at least we're not under a crazy clock. No blocks. Them taking extra turns with Elder Gargaroths would be a lot scarier. They ramp some more. That's fine. This is like true Simic midrange. Extra turns, Gargaroths, ramp. Maybe this is a Sonyo deck. I'm really not sure. Okay. So we can just play out some lands. Could use a bit more white, but I think it's fine. I guess I'll put this on blue. Activate Codie. Cast the Epiphany first, or I can cast the Opus and hope for an Epiphany. I think we just cast the Epiphany. I think it's safer. Wait, could we even cast the Opus? Yeah, we could have, because we have extra mana. And we find a Starnheim Unleashed, which is pretty cool. Free 4/4. Free Vigilant 4/4. No attacks. I'm not trying to just trade one of these into a Cultivator. Okay, Expressive Iteration. So I can do this, and then we pay another 4, get another 4, get 5 mana back, and then we're at 6. I think I'd rather just Opus right now. With the Codie Cascade. Deals 4 damage here. And I guess we take out a bird as well. And we tap these lands. Deal the damage like this. And hopefully cascade into another turn. That would be great. We cascade into an iteration. Some more lands. Ooh, we can actually cast Seagate. Awesome. Oh, I think I missed. I should have hit 4. It's okay. That's a misclick on my part. But if the opponent wants to block, they trade for something. So yeah, I should have just taken out the Cultivator. My mistake. I was quite overwhelmed with stuff. So the opponent should be at 3 less life. But I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, so we cast Iteration for free. And the opponent scoops it up. Yeah, so me misclicking my Magma Opus did not end up mattering, but that was a sick game. Codie is so much fun, you guys. Okay, no blue mana. We have tap land on 1 into red on 2. Another couple draws and a cycle of the Fire Prophecy. I think this is a keep, but it's close. We are a 26 land deck, so hopefully we can get there. Okay, Opus is not what you want to see in this spot. Our 8 mana spell with 2 lands is not it. Okay, Luminarch Aspirant. Well, at least that's some land. We will Fire Prophecy this thing down. Spellbinder. Yeah, I'm just going to cycle away what? The Behold doesn't seem too great. Starnheim Unleashed, alright. Looking for a blue source. If the opponent exiles my Dragonfire and I draw blue, I have Prismari Command up. After a couple more lands, I'll have Lorehold Command. Worst case scenario, I can make blue by making a treasure via discarding the Opus after putting this on red. Okay, the opponent takes Starnheim Unleashed, which I was not expecting. Awesome, we can hit a blue land. So we can go Prismari Command, make a treasure, blow up the Spellbinder, and then have mana to use Lorehold Command next turn. Or we can just cycle away some of our cards. That can resolve, but I'm going to immediately use the Prismari Command. We're going to do this and make a treasure. Can we not foretell if it's exiled? I don't think we can. Okay, what's the opponent going to take? 7 mana Lorehold Command it is. So we have a nice 6, 7, 8 on our hands. Okay. Interesting. I can make more mana here to just try to speed everything up. If I take my turn and I make mana with Magma Opus and I Dragon Fire, I'll have 6 mana, meaning I can actually cast Starnheim Unleashed. But then we go back to 5 after hitting a land, which is not ideal. So I think we just take it easy and play Triome. This Spellbinder tax kind of hurts. But the opponent hasn't started whittling down our life total. And they're not activating Faceless Haven, which gives me some hope. Okay, I'm just going to shoot the Aspirant because this thing is going to get out of hand really fast. I'll take 3. And we do find a land. I'm going to buy Zerta. And I'm going to play this tapped. So we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 mana next turn. Okay, there's a Lurrus. Jeez. Into, thankfully, no actual reanimation. Yeah, I think the only way we win this game is by actually casting my big spells. So we're going to try to do just that. Shock's actually pretty good. So more red or more white? I think we need what? Double white for Starnheim, double red for Draconic. We already have double of everything. I think we just go for more red. And now we're on 7 mana. So I could play this, make a 4/4, and then hold open Shock. Or I could just hold open the Lorehold Command at instant speed. I kind of like making the 4/4 and then playing my Shock. Doesn't seem horrible to me, but I would have to do it now so the Lurrus wouldn't be able to reanimate anything. And that leaves me kind of vulnerable. I think it's worth it though. So we Shock and then we just make a 6 mana 4/4. All right. And now we want land into land so we can go command into Opus. Giant Killer, fair enough. Play out the Giant Killer, fair enough. Take 4. Now we really need the land. And we hit. Alright, perfect. So we pass. And we do what we can. If the opponent animates Faceless Haven, then they won't have the mana to use Giant Killer. And they know we have the command and they know we have 7 mana. So it really is just a question of how they play around Lorehold Command, because we can Lightning Helix and make the 3/2. 3/2 blocks Giant Killer or Faceless Haven, or it profitably blocks Giant Killer and trades with Faceless Haven, and the command or the Lightning Helix part shoots down any part of their board, including the Faceless Haven. Okay, opponent's going for a Maul on what? Maul on Hushbringer. Okay. So I'm guessing just attack with Hushbringer. So maybe I should have, in response, shot it down. But I think this is okay. We shoot Spellbinder, make a 3/2. which can block the Haven in the future. The opponent's going to gain some life, but I'm not too fussed about that. Okay, we go. Play Codie. Oh, fuck. Should have played this first. That's completely on me. I should have played Zerda into Codie, and we would have had another blocker. Not my best work. But Codie does ramp us. So Codie will ramp us into the Opus, which we will be able to cast right now. Codie actually ramps us into the Epiphany too. So let's do that first. And get a Cascade. Into an Intervention. I can wipe this board. Okay. Let's attack with the 3-2 and see how the opponent responds. They take 3. I don't think it's even worth doing. They'll protect the Hushbringer. We get an extra turn though, which is nice. Now we go Magma Opus. 4 damage. So we can try to blow this up. They'll just sack the dog. So we go across these 2 permanents. Submit. Tap your lands. Oh yeah, I guess we can deal a bit more. It's fine. And we get the Cascade. Let's go. Alrund's Epiphany on the Cascade. Easy Cascade. Alright, so we hit a Fire Prophecy, which can help cycle. The Fire Prophecy will take out the Giant Killer, which is sweet. And the Giant Killer will tap the 3-2. Yep. I will cycle away Zerda. It's not really doing anything. Cool. And we get some more critters. I think I attack with one of these. Alright, so we have the command. Opponent plays Luris, 3 by something. So we're not out of it yet. We are not through the gate yet. I'm going to block, save 3 life. Alrund's Epiphany, good card. Very good card. So, let's start by attacking. Like this. And seeing how the opponent wants to block, if at all. Opponent just takes it. Okay, that's fine. Activate Codie. Play the Epiphany. We get a free Cascade effect. Free spell, Behold the Multiverse. Awesome. So, extra turn draw spell. Opt and Pathway. Not what I'm looking for. More lands. I'll play this one out and cycle Triome before my next turn. Just try to get further into the deck and try to find more big spells. There's an Epiphany. Alright, we're doing it, boys. We are doing it. I attack with everything again. Opponent will take it all again. Down to 9. I activate Codie. Play the Epiphany. Codie will Cascade, and the opponent scoops it up. Let's go. So, I should have been at a slightly higher life total by playing the Zerda first, but I kind of forgot about the clause you can't cast permanents. I was just kind of in the moment, but honestly, this is the most fun I've had playing Standard in so long. Codie is an absolute house, guys.